Okay, so we're talking about the book covers and the importance of the book covers and how we judge a book by its cover. And so, as kids, that's the first thing they look at, and if it's interesting to them, they'll take it, and if it's not, they'll put it back down. I know that's true for my first graders. They'll just look at the book and see if the cover is interesting, and if they want to look at it, they'll take it back, but if not, they put it right back down. So the cover is huge to them as a young child. And then when you grow up, I feel like I always looked at the book cover and to see if it interests me at all. And I didn't really start reading into the cover until I took a course. In my undergrad, I took a literacy course, and we actually looked and got to examine some of the book covers, and that's when I actually started looking more deeply into the book covers and trying to find the meaning and make predictions. But it wasn't until then that I really looked into the book cover. I kind of would just glance and see if it interested me in any way or how it made me feel about the book. But it really can, it gives you your first impression of the story and um, where you're gonna, whether you're gonna read it or whether you're not going to read it. So the three books I chose, I'll show you the first one. It's Give a Boy a Gun by Todd Strasser. And before reading it, obviously, um, there's gonna be something about a shooting, and you can see like the police line, the do not cross. So that got me thinking it's obviously something serious. And then what really interested me was down at the bottom, it has the lineup of people, and there's males and females, and for where the gunshot shots are, that interested me. Like, does that happen in the book, where those gunshots are? Is it are these specific characters the certain ones? And then I noticed that the females were untouched. It was just the males that were shot. So I don't know, that just got me thinking about the story, and are these people on the front going to be actually certain characters within the story? Do they have any meaning? Do their gunshots have any meaning? I'm not, until you read the book, you don't realize, but that's what I was thinking about before I read the book and the story. So there's that cover that I found pretty interesting. The next one is Bone Gap by Laura Ruby. I didn't know what to think when I first saw this book. The bee and the honeycomb, I had no, what is the meaning of the bee and the honeycomb? I didn't get it. I was trying to figure out what sort of meaning. And with Bone Gap, I think of like a separation or a break in something. But I just didn't, before reading this, I didn't see how Bone Gap, the title, and the bee and the honeycomb fit together. I was like, how is this going to work? I wasn't really sure what the meaning would be behind it, but I found it interesting, and that's why I chose this one. But you do find out in the story, the significance of both the title and the book cover. But I just thought that was interesting, and usually I can make predictions and kind of guess what's going on, but with this one, I wasn't really sure what the significance was of the honeycomb and the bee. I just wasn't sure at first. And then for my last one, Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The Great Gatsby has actually lots of different book covers. I didn't think this one was this great of just Jay Gatsby. The one that I read before, it had the cover, it was the blue cover with Daisy peeking through. And that had a city skyline on the bottom. I like that book cover a lot better. I feel like that was more interesting, and that told more about the story than anything. This one, it just shows Jay Gatsby, and obviously looking at it, he must be the main character, and this has to be something, it has to be something significant about him for him to take up, the entire front cover. But I feel like the other one that they made, with Daisy on the front, the all blue cover, I like that book cover much better than I like this cover. But with this, obviously this character on the front, he's going to be significant in the book, and I I actually chose to redo the Great Gatsby book cover for the next part of this assignment. Um, just to pull some different, I love the Great Gatsby, so I decided to just pull different parts of the story and create my own. But that is my 3 books and the things that I found interesting about them and why I picked them up. And reading the summaries of the book, just stuff that intrigued me about the book. But I feel like book covers are really important. They kind of tell their own story within the book cover, and it gives you a clue of what the story's actually going to be about. Um, and I feel like it can really make or break the book.